My question is to the Minister for Children. Does she think provisions in the Oranga Tamariki responding to serious youth offending amendment bill allowing the use of physical force against children in state care breach the UN Convention of the Rights of the Child to be protected from all forms of physical violence?
The Honourable Karen Chhour.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is precisely because children and young people deserve to be protected from violence that someone who is working with these young people must have the ability to prevent them from being harmed, harming themselves, or harming another person.
Supplementary. What assurance can the Minister offer to caregivers of tamariki in care, given this bill will allow strangers to use force against their children?
Mr. Speaker, in relation to use of reasonable force, I would have thought that instead of inciting fear, that a member who themselves stated they were the smartest and most experienced, that they declared themselves the other day, would understand the difference between reasonable force and physical violence.
Supplementary. Can she clarify what is the difference between reasonable force or otherwise?
Mr. Speaker, when it comes to reasonable force, it will be used in a way where it is the last line of defence when a young person may be at risk of hurting or harming themselves and might need to be restrained so they're not hurting or harming themselves or harming others.
Point of order.
Point of order.
Mr. Speaker, I was looking for something that showed an actual definition of reasonable force, which is why I posed my question in that way, as opposed to some other rhetoric.
That would, so depends how you look at it, but reasonable force could be considered a legal definition, which is not a question that can be asked in the House. If the answer that was given by the member indicated, which I think for most people would allow to understand what sort of force might be used in the circumstances outlined. You can have another go.
Supplementary, Mr. Speaker. Can she clarify what steps are being taken to ensure that tamariki do not internalise that use of force as an acceptable response during conflict resolution?
Mr. Speaker, no young person would like the fact that reasonable force has to be used. But at the end of the day, alongside training that has been put in place by Oranga Tamariki around de-escalation so that reasonable force is the last line of defence, I believe that this will make sure that our young people are safe.
Supplementary.
Laura McClure.
Can the Minister please explain to the House what kind of crimes that people, these young people, are actually part of this program for?
Mr. Speaker, the reason we have had to put this provision... I actually reject the premise of what was just said there by that member. No one will be getting a hiding. It is not excessive force. It is reasonable force. So the answer to that question is some of these members that are part of the military-style academy program have committed some pretty serious crimes. And they must have committed at least 2 crimes of 10 years or more if sentenced. We need to make sure that they are safe from each other and that the staff are safe. And this is the middle ground that will make sure that they are all safe.
I just want to make it clear that Māori Party have one more question under today's allocation if they wish to use it.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, I did take 3 subs, as I understand.
Yes, I know. One was a rego from me. So,
what might I ask?
Well, do you want me to help you out?
Sorry, no. What? Okay, why? That's a great one. Now, what about this? What evidence does she have to give this House confidence that reasonable force upon young people that are already vulnerable and have, as referred to her response, a long-standing, serious, harmful life, what reasonable force would be reasonable in that case?
Look, it touches on the same question. The Minister can answer it in so much as she's able to without giving legal opinion.
Mr. Speaker, reasonable force is the last line of defence, but the evidence is if we do not have the...
Sorry, Mr. Speaker, I was looking for evidence that, and which is why I posed the question, what evidence might she have? Thank you.
Yes, I appreciate that, but if you think about what you're asking evidence for, it would require a legal opinion to be able to provide that evidence. So we'll give the Minister the opportunity to respond in so much as she can within standing orders.
Mr. Speaker, the evidence has showed in the past when we do not have safeguards in place for young people and staff, we end up with young people getting hurt. We need to make sure, alongside the provision of reasonable force, that training is put in place in de-escalation, and this gives our staff more tools so that they are safe and our young people are safe.